The whole problem with this world is that the fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, and the wiser people so full of doubts. Bertrand Russell. I believe this quote ties directly with what we see in modern art. We don't have a shortage of brilliant creatives. The problem is they're silent. The people with the deepest appreciation for their craft, the ones who put in hours and hours of effort and work, they're the quietest in the room. The value within them is never shared. There's two psychological traps that are destroying your potential. First is the Dunning-Kruger effect. The less you know, the more confident you feel, and vice versa. The more you know, the less confident you feel. Think about that super talented musician who has mastered covering others' works, but is worried about putting out their own. Now think about that kid who just started making beats and is dropping daily. Why does the more skilled artist lack the confidence of a beginner? What stops highly capable people of getting their work out is internal barriers. They know how good art can be and think, I'll never match up to that, so they never even try. Secondly is imposter syndrome, which isn't much of a syndrome at all, just high levels of doubt. I sat on the sidelines for years. I wanted to create, but I didn't release anything. I kept comparing myself to people who have been doing it for a decade. I couldn't see the path of where I was today to get to where they were today. I didn't see myself getting to that point. So I stayed quiet. I consumed, I studied, but I never posted. I never put out anything. Doubt sounds like wisdom. It asks the question that feel valid. Is this really good enough? Why would people care what I think? And you argue with these questions in your head instead of creating. The more we learn, the more we are exposed to things we don't know. How did they flip that sample that well? Use color theory this way, edit that so seamlessly. We take a step back and realize how skilled someone can really be. And in our admiration, we become insecure. Instead of saying, I could never do that, focus on how you can at your level. The harsh truth is, if you're a sane human being, the feeling of doubt is unavoidable, but it is manageable. And here's how. First, learn at your level and implement immediately. If I can't add something into my art right now, it's inspiration, not education. Don't confuse the two. You're reading a cookbook without cooking. So when you hear that drum pattern you love, remake it in your dog. When you read a verse or hear a verse that flows effortlessly, rewrite it. Study the rhymes, the end rhymes, the out rhymes, the patterns, the pacing. Not by analyzing from a distance, but by doing. We hear it all the time, study the greats, right? But this is how you actually do it. Not by listening, by remaking, by analyzing through creation. That's when the learning sticks. That's when the gap closes and you become less and less of an imposter that you think you are. This is personally what I call active consumption. All artists must consume to be inspired. Yes, this is true. But it's how and what you consume that results into growth. As creatives, the end goal is to create. We all want to add to the web of creativity that inspires the next generation. Step 2, focus on what you can control. Now, we spoke briefly on psychological paradoxes, Dunning-Kruger, imposter syndrome, that are all mental but have real effects, of course, on people's lives. Being aware of them is a start. Truthfully, though, this will be a lifelong battle you have to fight against. There will be plenty times where you doubt yourself as an artist. You'll listen to Stevie Wonder or hear a J. Cole verse and wonder if you can even compete. This is normal, and honestly, it's a good thing. Your ability to recognize excellence is proof that you have taste. You translate that taste and that standard into your own work. You can't control how good you are in the moment, but you can control how you move forward, and you will be better. You're not in control of whether people like your art. It's subjective, it's the nature of art. You're not in control of arbitrary lines of success because, first of all, they aren't real and they shift constantly. You're not in control of people liking art that you think is bad. So why waste time, energy, and effort on things you can't change? Aren't you here to create? What can you control? Now, ask yourself 3 questions at the end of each creative day. Did I learn something? Did I create something new? Did I implement something new into my work? These are the metrics that matter. This is my personal framework for a successful creative day. Saying yes to just one of these things is amazing, but the satisfaction I get from hitting all three is unmatched. Keep your head in the game, stay focused on what you can control. Don't waste energy on things that you cannot. Step 3, action builds evidence. The greatest weapon in your arsenal to combat any doubt is building evidence. There's a gap between the great art you believe you can create and the art that you create today. Your focus should be on closing that gap as much as possible. Yes, even this line is arbitrary, but I'm encouraging you to focus on the pursuit through tangible actions. Instead of focusing on good or bad, look at tangible inputs like, did I make a song today? Through repetition alone, you will get better. Each note, each action is proof you're capable. Study the greats, implement consistently, do the things you love. You will inevitably make art that you're proud of. Stop thinking, start creating. The sooner you stop labeling your art as bad, the more freedom you give yourself to create. Doing the thing consistently and getting better after each rep. This is the only path forward. That's how you become the artist you know you can be.